Welcome to Larry Nance, Twitter/Pelican Spaces Part 3. By the time you get to the end of this video, since we're doing this live on here, live streaming again, you're probably going to have a great time. But before that, like before, a little pre-show, show y'all some highlights, and then show going to start. But until then,
you must know that first. Can't nothing and nobody fade what we trying to do and what we about to do. Second thing is, we got this game on our level. You understand what I'm saying?
Welcome to another episode of In Space. I'm your host, Chris Connor. Shout out to all the good people at Jägermeister, DraftKings Sportsbook that support us, as well as the good people at Birdsall Law Firm. Got to get y'all a word from them real quick. In Space with Chris Connor is presented by Birdsall Law Firm, located at 918 Porter Street by the Superdome. Give them a call at 504-523-5413. If you or someone you know has been involved in an accident, be sure to mention that we sent you. 5 in here. Whoa.
Wow.
What's good, bro?
Chilling, man. I just wanted to pull up. I wasn't even going to jump in, but, I'm here.
Man, you know what I'm saying? Yo, everybody's in the comments, man. Y'all go ahead. I don't know if y'all were at the last one. This only will last about 15, 20 minutes. There will be an interlude. And like last time, this will not be recorded on Twitter. So if you want to watch this shit again after the show's over with, you got to come back here. 5, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Hey, man, look, since it's gonna be recorded, man, I gotta give you your flowers while you're here, bro. Like you slick, man. You's a solid dude. We gotta get you right, man. Because this cat wearing a do-rag has been like very instrumental in galvanizing this franchise, and I don't think a lot of people understand how difficult that is to continuously, be that. Like you wear the hat, bro. It must be a do-rag. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
they got strings, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Like they gotta reward you with a soldier rag night or something. Like, just because this is difficult, bro. Like to see it, flourish from what it was to now what it is. And hell, you the reason I'm, you the one that threw me to alley. So like, for people that don't really understand, like, yo, I was just talking to Chris Spaces and he threw the oop. Now it was up to me to either lay it up, dunk it, or finish it, or whatever. But nah, man, like you deserve an applause, and this is me telling you thank you, bro.
Yo, man, I really appreciate that, bro. I feel like, man, when you do good shit for people, it shouldn't be about what you get in return, right? Larry doing this spaces shouldn't be about more fans buying his jerseys or him people being more popular or him being, like none of that, right? It's just about connecting with folks and putting people that you think are solid in right spots, you know what I'm saying, or in right situations. And I mean, look, I'm happy that I took a leap a few years ago and decided, somebody got to do it. Somebody got to try to bring it all together. And I don't even know if that was really my plan, but for it to turn out to where it starts at just simply having a conversation and getting people all in one room together, talking about, basically their traumatic experiences being a Pelicans fan, and to turn into like a real community.
Yeah.
And beyond, and then and end with so many other talented folks like yourself, for example, to have chances to really like blossom and just do other shit, to just be seen, completely on a different light. That's what it's about, man. So I really appreciate that, dog. Lala in the comments,
being childish,
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Lala is.
But I did say it's about it's only about 8 people in here, but for y'all 8 folks that's in here, part of this, shout out to y'all. Shout out to Josh. I see you in here. Shout out to Brian. Brian, no problem. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really what it's about. And what y'all don't know. So I'm gonna take y'all behind the scenes of how this shit really go. Like, I didn't hit up Larry. I don't like asking people for shit. I just don't. it takes. I edit so many different messages that I send people before I ask them the shit. I just don't like doing it. And maybe it's because if I ask you one time, I really don't want to ask you again because I feel played. I can't do nothing about that. I can't do nothing about that. I don't like that feeling. So I'd rather either A, figure out how to do it myself. You call it ego, call it pride, whatever the case may be. Either A, let's figure out how to do it myself, or let it arrive to me. So Larry followed me. He had a plan. 100% had a plan. Larry followed me, and then a week later, if I remember correctly, or it may have been the other way around. He may have asked randomly, "Yo, what's Twitter Spaces? Or who does Pelican Spaces?" And then a couple people commented my name. Maybe a few days later, he follows me, and then he hits me to do the first one, which only happens because he sprained his ankle, so he was out and he couldn't go on a road trip. That was when Pelicans played. I think that was the night. That might have been Brandon's first triple-double, or him having 40, the Portland game on the road. Part of those games. So that's how the first one happened. The second one, again, I didn't act like we talked at the first one, like, yo, like, we'll do it again, but I didn't hit him. He restarted again, like, yo, we doing another Spaces. Now we had to edit the time that we was gonna do it because of some Zion situations that was happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, he that was him. This time I did hit him up, but that's just because we built the relationship now. So, like, same with like Trey, same with CJ. I didn't hit them and be like, I didn't message them like, yo, man, y'all joined. They did it on their own. So a lot of this shit is organic, and I will say, I throw the flowers back, to everybody else that's involved. It don't happen without people saying, yo, support this dude, or support this community, or support this, or support that, to where them people feel like they feel comfortable to even want to come in and be themselves. Because if you listen to the way CJ was, the way Trey was, or the way Larry is in the Spaces, it's totally different from like if we sit down and do like a face-to-face interview. Like when 5 go for media day, it's probably gonna be a little bit different having a conversation. It's gonna be a little bit more business-like versus them just being laid back. So Ryan, I'm glad you up here. I got something for you. I said I was gonna show highlights. This the first highlight. Ryan know what this is. Hold on.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? I just I wanted to know about the whole asshole situation on the team, and I really just wanted to know what's the perfect.
Wait, what?
Well, hold up.
Look, what did you ask for spicy, and now we're talking about assholes. I don't.
Listen, man, that question just got mixed up in my head, and you know where I was going with it. It just didn't get where it needed to go. All I wanted to do was for CJ to talk about being the biggest asshole on the team. That's it.
I'm about to be a DJ, and I'm gonna run it back and show again what it actually turned into. Hold on,
yeah, what's up, y'all? I just I wanted to know
brutal, man,
about the whole asshole situation on the team, and I really just wanted to know what's the perfect.
Wait, what?
Well, hold up.
Look, what did you ask for spicy, and now we're talking about assholes.
Good job, man. Good job. You created a moment.
Hey, man, look, that's what I'm all about, all right? I'm not going to ask any stupid questions tonight. All I want to know tonight, and I hope someone asks, I just want to know if what his take on Cody Zeller is. I want to know, because we know who Cody Zeller is as a player from our perspective, but I just want to know, playing against him, what he's going to bring to the team. That's all I really want to know this time around. I'm going to sit back and let other people make fools of themselves.
I'm glad you said that, because I don't think much of any time has been spent talking about, no disrespect to Cody Zeller, but no one's really talked about Cody Zeller. So someone who's there, like, there was pictures of him actually being in the facility. So, that's cool, man.
I know I'm not the only one. I forgot we signed him until those pictures were posted. I had no idea. I mean, I knew, but I feel like it just kind of slipped our mind because he's kind of a private person. You know, he hasn't really done much on social media. He sticks to his own on his IG and everything. So,
Yeah,
you know, we'll see how that plays out, but
for sure,
it's
man.
cool, man.
All right, bad dog. All right, well, let me get my dog Aramis up here. Ryan, I appreciate him. What do people can follow you at on Twitter, man? That's
Ryan
up here on YouTube. I don't know.
Ryan Talks Hoops, and I got some cool stuff coming. I'll be covering the Pelicans a lot coming up, so we'll see where that goes. But it's gonna be a good time.
All right, Ryan. Appreciate you, bro. I'll holler at you in the spaces.
Yes, sir.
All right, who we got up here next? We got Aramis. Aramis then donated. He's donated enough to build another Buku Media building. Like he's Aramis, man. You here, brother? You're gonna have to unmute your mic.
Let me see. I can unmute it. I can unmute his. Oh no. Guess can't do it, man. What's up, Aramis, man? Look, he's almost like Batman on the slick.
Nope, I can't do it either. All right, Aramis, well, when you ready, and unmute it, let us know, bro, so I can get you back up here. In the meantime, I'm gonna play another highlight. This is one of my favorites. Shout out to my dog Kai 504.
Man,
to speak. I'm gonna get you up here, dog.
He don't know how to work spaces.
He's old. He's old.
Y'all the same age.
Respectfully.
Whoa! Don't disrespect me like that.
All right, Kai.
I'm gonna go on mute.
Kai, you
don't
in?
disrespect me like that.
Or you want to wait? You want to wait till CJ get up here?
I want to wait.
Oh, that sounded like he's got a vendetta.
Shout out to my dog. I forgot where that conversation went afterwards, but shout out to Kai. Kai has this thought in his mind that he gonna get kicked out like immediately. I think Larry ended up eventually saying get him off the stage. I forget when that happened, but we're gonna try it again and see how that go. Rocky.
You got it. You're
gonna have to unmute. All right. Oh man. Anybody else? If you want to join the live, I'm here. We probably gonna be here for about another 5 to 10 minutes. My love for the UK. That's crazy to me. I will say that's something I take. It's like UK and Australian folks and shit like that, bro. Like, who's Pelicans fans out in the UK? Like, he's been a fan since the playing last year. Y'all don't let nobody ever tell y'all the playing didn't matter, dog. You got a 35 win season. Got a dude from the UK to, you know what I mean, support the team. Shout out to you, bro. Rocky, okay, she unmuted.
Y'all can hear me now?
Yeah.
Whoa, what's up?
What's good with you?
Jared, I'm gonna talk to you for a few seconds. I'm not gonna talk to Chris because he was supposed to email me ahead of time and tell me when this was gonna be happening. So since I ain't get my courtesy email, I'm gonna act like he ain't on this side of the screen for a few seconds, and I'm gonna just act like he don't exist.
What a rock!
Since he treated me like a redheaded stepchild. By the way, I won best decorated. I don't know if y'all can see this. I won best decorated cubicle at work for my Pelicans pride. So shout out to all my Pelicans players. I got jerseys from everybody except for Larry, so I got a copy of Larry. But I had them all decorated. I had my Zion autographed first dunk. My Trey jersey up there, my BI jersey up there, my Herb jersey. I pretty much had the whole team up there thugging it out. It's supposed to be college weekend, but I don't do all the college stuff, so I brought the Pelicans, and I won first place for all the Pelicans gear I had hooked up there. By the way, I did not wear my Pelicans hat, but I had it spread out on my page, on my cubicle. So shout out to the Pelicans for all my Pelicans gear. Y'all know I love this team. I rep this team from one coast to the next coast, all the way in Barcelona. So good to see you guys up here. Excited to talk to Larry. Now I'm gonna talk to Chris, Jared.
Speak now.
But let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Jared, because I forgot. I forgot I ain't talking to him. How you been doing, Jared?
I'm good. Rock, that was a layup, bro. You had everything. You had a signed Zion joint. Like, who was leading in this competition?
And by the way, I also had a BI signed photograph as well. I killed the competition. They had them damn rolling tied up there, man. Nobody don't care about that. They lost last week. The tide rolled out already. But yeah, man. Shout out to the team, man. How y'all doing, though?
We good, man. I'm straight, bro.
Jared, where the articles at, man?
See, look, see. Nah, I got something for you. On Sunday. I got y'all for sure.
I'm gonna hold you to that because it's been a boring summer.
Listen, who you telling? So rather than just I don't want to write about stuff just to be writing, right? I want to write about stuff that actually makes sense. Kind of has some kind of connection. They kind of gave me a little break over the summer, but nah, man, I got some cooking up. I think this will be a good one for everybody to kind of talk to.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Don't do like Chris and don't tag me and send it to me because I'm not really on Twitter right now. Actually, today was supposed to be my last day on break, and I'll come back to Twitter on the 16th because I told Chris that I was going to be gone to the 15th. But, since he, act like he don't remember me, us
Rocky,
small people.
Say, bro. Give me hop in the DM and take my number down like real adults. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like let's do it. Let's do it that route so we could talk that way. You
know what? I'm gonna slide in your deal.
See, but look,
and guess what, Chris? I saw your Tate's cookies in my Walmart yesterday for the first time. They done made it to Ocean Springs.
I'm not fucking with Tate's because Tate's told me that they was gonna email me back and listen, after I send 2 additional emails trying to get their attention, they ain't rock with me. But I want them niggas to know I helped put them on the map in a whole region.
Okay.
And I want what's mine. But all right, but look though, I want restitution. Shout out to Shannon Sharp. But look, right, tomorrow, me and this brother up here 5 got something special that's gonna be dropping. I don't know exactly when, but some really cool. And I'm gonna let you in on that first.
Okay.
First.
Okay.
All right. So you know what I'm saying? So I got you.
I got a little love still for you. I still got a little love for you.
There you go. Listen, man. If y'all don't know, we talking about Spaces right now. Rocky right now. Today she is Spaces. Her, for Lauren, Chaz, Chuck, Charles. Like there's the entire group chat that I'm a part of. Like right now, like day to day, Rocky specifically last year did an amazing job of hosting consistently, similar to what we tried to to what we did in year 1, and it also created some great moments. So I missed it, and if y'all not tapped in, please do, because going into this year, it's probably gonna be some similar. I do some games here and there, but
let me say this. We're going to go into the season positive, with positive energy. I ain't got no negative energy. I got high hopes for this team. We got some bad news with Trey being injured, but a shout out to Trey. We're going to pray for him. But I'm going into this season with nothing but positive energy, expecting nothing but greatness from these guys until they show me otherwise.
All right, Rock. I got to get to the highlights because I'm about to get out of here in like 3 minutes. I'm gonna DM you with everything. We're gonna exchange numbers, so we're gonna be straight. We're gonna be good, right?
We good. All love, man. Love y'all like fat kids love cake.
Same way. Same way. Let me get through the rest of these highlights, man. That was Rocky, man. Again, man, y'all tap in with Rock if y'all haven't already, man. And so I mean, this one. Shout out to CJ. Was probably the highlight that people latched on to the most from the show. CJ handled it like a professional. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, what's down? Say CJ, bro. I've been watching you for a minute, son. And every time I watch you play, bro, I always wonder why you got a flat top. So it's 2023, bro. Why you got a flat top, bro?
My bad. I ain't mean to laugh, bro. My bad.
So I've been wondering this for so long, bro. I finally got a chance to ask you.
I appreciate the question, brother. I just like to keep it nice and easy, bro. But it look like a flat top on TV. I don't think it's a flat top.
Fucking right. It really look like a round top. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna let you slide. You know what I mean? Because you know.
I
You in the city, so you good.
And he is from New Orleans. This man is from.
Yeah.
He said.
It looked like a round top. shout out to my homie Jay, man. He popped into the spaces and was like, so 5. He DM'd me during the spaces and he was like, we had maybe CJ probably had just joined. He said, nobody asking the question that need to be asked. So I had no idea what I had no idea what he was talking about, bro. I'm like, all right. And that's what he asked. You know what I'm saying? Like, kill me, man.
Dog, you New Orleans cats, bro. Y'all got like a weird, not a weird way, but a different way of ribbing, bro. Like, yeah, like who says that?
He said it don't look like a flat top. It look like a round top. All right. I got like a minute and a half left. Last highlight here. Shout out to Chuck, who was aforementioned in the speaking with Rocky about Spaces still being alive and being a great part of the community. He's one of the members. Shout out to Chuck for this one.
Nothing but love and respect coming from this way. First things first, I want to ask this to Trey, only because I ain't gonna lie, CJ and Larry, man, like y'all kind of old. Like y'all ain't old in the regular world, but you know the NBA age niggas like dogs and shit. So I need a young nigga opinion on this.
Like look now. Look, Chuck. Look now, Chuck.
I ain't trying to kill you.
30 is how old are
we
you?
in the same age bracket. We in the same age bracket, man. I'm 31.
Oh yeah, you don't get to call me old.
So y'all both old. All y'all old.
Hey, look, I be old.
Let the man talk.
I be old. I accept you. Feel me? But
You feel
so
me?
Trey, man.
The NBA age niggas like dogs.
That's a crazy. That's a crazy bar, dog. But it makes so much sense, though.
It do though. That's why it was funny. That's why wasn't nobody like really going crazy until the bar connected, and they was like, okay. Could nobody really say nothing?
It's like Brandon is 26 now. Like he's old.
He's old, bro. He's old.
That's crazy.
He's old. Bro. All right, man. 5, I appreciate you pulling up, man. You know what I'm saying? Co-hosting here. We about to start this joint, and I'm gonna be on time, man. It's gonna be about 2 minutes. I'm literally jumping off this platform and heading right into spaces. If you do not know exactly how to, Ramen said he created a Twitter just for this. So I mean, I really kind of explained it to you, but it will be live here as well. It's just not the same. So if you want to be really involved, hop into Twitter. Be really like in the mix. Otherwise, you gotta you gotta pay for questions. Listen, we enjoy our super chats, but you gotta type out questions. It's different when you actually get to be up there and use your voice. You know what I'm saying? So go that route. But if not, stay in here and have a great time. We accept, whichever platform you want to choose to be on. So either way, for myself, for 5, told y'all something special tomorrow. Holla at y'all.
Can you believe we've had 7 months without an NFL game? Crazy, right? Well, good thing that's over. NFL's here, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is giving you a can't-miss offer. New customers can get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 on any NFL game. DraftKings is hooking everyone up with game day greatness. Download now and use code BOOT to sign up. New customers can take home $200 in bonus bets instantly just for betting $5. That's code BOOT only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. The Crown.
Yo, what's good, y'all? For those that weren't in the pre-show, most of y'all know how this operates. It's Pelican Spaces, Twitter Spaces, it's the community, it's the people. And been lucky enough, man, to have a chance to have this brother up here. This will be the third time. The way that it ended up happening is, I think, kind of dope, and kind of shows how involved Larry is and how conscious he is to, you know what I'm saying, how stepping into a field that's, I guess, unique for most athletes. You look around, you don't really see, you see athletes popping every now and then, but they just ain't coming kicking it regularly with, the people that's showing up for games, the fans, people that's in the city, people that's in the region, or even outside the region that support the team. So we're going to get Larry up here, chop it up. He's in here now on time. He was on time last time. He was on time first time too. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Larry. And so ground rules before we start. One question, you know what I'm saying? No two-part questions, because the goal, just like last time, is to get as many people up here as possible. And you know what I'm saying? So, and for those that aren't that are shy or whatever, if it take you a little bit to get your one question out, that's cool, man. You know what I'm saying? This ain't a speech and communication class. Take your time. But come up here, man, and use the platform, kick it, have a good time with us. And I'm saying? That's it. Keep it respectful, keep it player. And that's pretty much it. Also, it's not recorded on Twitter. You gotta go to YouTube once it's done. Or I know it's live streaming on YouTube now. So once it's done, the links will be out there. Go pop up and rewatch it if you can't make it all the way through, or whatever the case may be. But enough of me. Let me get Larry up here and let's get it going. Yo.
What's going on?
What's
happening, man?
Not much, man. You back in the city, huh?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I've been back about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks now.
You done talk about the heat or not?
I was going to until you said something, but now I'm not going to. No, it's good. It's behaved itself. I came down here earlier this summer in I want to say July, and I'm serious. I walked from baggage claim to where the Uber pickup lot was and started sweating, and that's when I knew it was time to go home.
Yeah, man. How was your summer, man? How's everything? So when we talked last time, you were talking about some of the things that you were preparing for. If I remember correctly, you spoke about losing. You spoke about maybe being a little bit lighter coming into the year. Some of the different things that you were working on physically to prepare for the year. What's changed from when we spoke? It was a couple months ago at this point now to today, where we're not that far away from training camp and preseason action and preparation for the season?
Not a whole lot, honestly. That's still the plan. I'm down in weight and up in skill and up in movement and everything, and so I'll be back even more to like my quick twitch switching on the perimeter self. I got a little bit away from that the past 2 years, trying to put on weight and guard centers one-on-one when I don't really need to do that, So I'll be back to playing the perimeter defensively a lot and guarding these guards, and hopefully giving Herb Jones someone else that can be a good point of attack defender for us. Another person, I should say.
So let me ask you. You still we're talking small ball 5 stuff here, right? So I'm sure you're gonna spend minutes at the 4. Yeah. Do you think that, if I'm reading what you're saying right, that the weight that you added in previous years, did it explain how it may have hurt or took away? From a quickness and an agility standpoint, but at that position, I think maybe some fans in here, or even myself, would think, okay, playing that position 25, sometimes 30 minutes, 20 minutes a night against some of the, bigger lineups of the more physical centers in the league, you would think that adding that weight would help. Explain how it took away maybe from you and what you like to do a little bit. All right, now I can't hear you. All right, we lost Larry. All right, there you go. All right, thanks. Oh, darn. How does bubble it? Give me a second, y'all. All right, can you hear me?
All right. My bad. I don't know what happened. But I think the biggest thing that's difficult, I don't want to say difficult to understand, but the misconception on the center position of recent is the fact that you see, like, obviously we got some dominant centers, right? We got Embiid and Jokic and there are some monsters. And more than likely, will I be playing center against them to close? No, or ever. But when you go look across the league, at I'm 6'8", 250. There's a lot of centers, especially closing centers, that are that weight and height or below. I think Bam is exactly the same dimensions as me. Draymond's smaller. Memphis closed a lot of their games with Brandon Clark, who's the same way, looks the same way. Boston closed with an Al Horford or like a Grant Williams, who's, again, kind of the same build. Grant's even a little bit smaller. So I think outside of the anomaly is right. The two freak centers we have. There's nobody else that's really gonna demand double teams down low. And even if they are, most of the time we want it in their hands rather than their lead ball handler or their best guard. So I think that's kind of thinking behind that. And for me, I'm not a bruiser anyway. So I like to, get in passing lanes and switch 1 through 5 and do some of the more I like being a small big, right? So I'm not the traditional sense and just banging with these bigs. It's more free flowing and agile than that, I would say. And I've gotten away from that in the past. So I'm getting back to that, and I'm looking forward to it. I know my knees are.
So we blaming the dunk that you missed in the Atlanta game on the road early in the year on the weight. Got it. Those that remember that.
Wow. That, first of all, I did not expect. I addressed that. I thought I addressed that on the last one. I said my bad. I put my hand up. That was on me. I mistimed my steps.
Oh, good, man. Just gotta bring it back, because I'm more than sure that the next time y'all in Atlanta, it's the first thing I'm gonna think of anyway. So I might as well say it now. But let's go ahead and get Rel up here, one of my favorite people out here. About to be a self-made millionaire before we know it. Rel, you here?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
First of all, Chris, thank you for hosting this. Larry, thank you for hanging out with us again. Thanks for everything you do in the community, man. And I wanted to ask you, are you able to share what kind of community plans you have coming into this season? What you got going on for the kids, anything like that?
First off, I appreciate the love, Rel. It's always love and respect around here. But I don't know if I want to share that one yet.
I got you. I just thought I would lob it to you,
No, for sure. It's not something we're ready to. It's not. Well, there's one thing that I'm partnered with the superintendent of school, Avis Williams, on. That'll be for the benefit of teachers. But then I got. We're working on something that should be really fun. There's going to be a project for a lot of the local high school kids to get involved in their own community and figure out how to solve one of the biggest issues we got going on here. So this one's going to be a little different than last year's, a little bit different than anything I've ever done, but it's going to be like I'm really, really excited about this one. So I think within the coming weeks, we'll kind of announce that and roll that out. But it's going to be it's going to roll into next summer as well. It's going to be an ongoing thing, and we're give you a little hint. We're working on addressing a lot of the food insecurity around in this area. So activating a lot of people doing it. So it'll be a lot of fun, and hopefully it'll encourage others to get involved as well. But that's all I can give you at the moment. But it's gonna be big time, and I'm excited about it.
Well, thank you for giving that, and let me know if the Pels 12 can help out. We can get some volunteers out and help you guys with whatever you got planned. But thanks, man.
Nah, it's much appreciated. Thank you.
That was dope. A man of the people, as always, real. A woman of the people. I mean, I just, I feel like, I can just like sit in like the shadows when Rail's up here, because she like the superstar of like the community and everything now. So, appreciate that, Rail. Rocky, you up here?
Whoa, what's up? What's up, Chris? How you doing? Hey Larry, how you doing, man? Thanks for hosting, Chris. Thanks, Larry, for continuing to show up and spend some quality time with the fan base. We really, really appreciate it. I got one huge question, which was really not too much. Your main focus for this season is?
My main focus for this season is, first of all, good to hear from you, Rocky. Hope all's well. Hope your summer's been great. Second, my main focus for this season is, honestly, the biggest thing for me going forward. I honestly think I've been a little bit too passive offensively. There have been some, I've been just kind of looking to just hand off and just hand off to the guards and let everybody get it out of my hands so I can just roll, finish, and do specifically what I've been good at for these past 2 years. But if any of you guys saw me play in Cleveland, I was a completely different player than I've been playing here. And that's why I alluded to this earlier with having the ball in my hands a little bit more, playing out of elbow action or playing out of delay, which is it's like 5 out with the big up top. And just some craftiness, keeping it going to the rim and working my little flow game a little bit more. But look, I'm not setting out to average 15 points, 13 points. No, I'm very happy in my role of what I do. But we definitely need some more, especially with Murph being out for the first little bit of the season. That second unit, we need a little bit, just 4 to 6 more points a game from that group. We can get 2 from everybody, 4 from everybody. Shoot, that'll be enough to make up for Murph until he gets back. So that'll be what I'm focused on early season. But again, I think that's from an individual perspective. But as a team, I really want to start off hot. Looking at this schedule, the back end gets pretty tough to close it out. So we're going to want to take care of what we can take care of in the beginning, and hopefully take it easy at the end of the season.
I appreciate that, man. Y'all be blessed. Have a nice night. And Larry, I look forward to everything you're doing for the community. Like I said to you before, each one reach one. So I appreciate all your efforts, man.
Appreciate you, Rocky.
If y'all don't know, if y'all unaware, I think most of y'all are up to speed already. But Rocky, along with Lauren, pretty much hosts day to day. A lot of the spaces over the regular season. Now they pretty much taking that over, and I 100% appreciate it. And they've been doing a dope job. So if y'all haven't tapped in with Rocky, with Lauren, and everybody that's the frequent joiners is up there, from Charles to Chuck to Chaz and everybody that pops up in this, keeping I guess my original vision alive and well to even make things like this possible. Tap in. Larry, you before I get to Ryan, you mentioned Trey. And Of course, we hope he's back as soon as possible. We wish him was smooth and easy recovery, and he's back to not just back on the floor, but back to feeling like and being himself once he does get back. From a basketball perspective, in regards to replacing points, right? But what I wanted to ask you is, okay, who's the best non-Pelican shooter you've played with?
The best shooter I've ever seen is Kyle Korver.
Okay, so I'm assuming there were games, there were periods where you were out there, and Kyle was hurt, or Kyle was dealing with something, sick, whatever the case may be. Even if it's not Kyle, what goes? Are we talking about preparation? Like, that's a void that you can't necessarily replace. You're not gonna be replaced with one guy, as you mentioned, and that's just the shooting element is just one side of it. But a lot of people look at this team and say, like, all right, they may be, you guys maybe could have used more shooting out. Like, even if Trey was healthy coming into the year, from a preparation standpoint, what do you like? Walk us through what you can share about things that take place in trying to prepare and put together game plans when you are missing someone with his kind of ability to stretch the floor. Even if you could dive back into a time where you had to miss a game, well, Kyle had to miss a game, and you saw how things were prepared without him.
No, that's a good one, and it's tough. Obviously it's tough. Like, someone like Trey is obviously, we have a few guys on the team that attract more gravity. CJ, BI, and Z. But outside of those three, Trey is, arguably the one guy on the team that the defense can't help off of, right? So it definitely leads itself to a more difficult game plan. But one thing I think, we added Jordan Hawkins, right? Dude can flat out shoot. In the second half of the year, and this happens to some second year players. Herb struggled shooting early on. In the second half of the year, dude shot 41% from three, right? I don't, obviously we hope he continues that. We were also missing Jose the second half of the season. Like, we're missing some of our best shooters. So it's not like, we are going to have more shooting. It's addition by addition, right? Jose's healthy, Hawkins we added. And if Herb keeps shooting the way he's been, it's great. And let's not forget, CJ had a torn ligament in his thumb. So, that'll help as well. So, obviously, it's not easy replacing a guy like Trey, but I think the biggest thing you do is try to it'll be interesting watching the Warriors this year, right? When they got Chris Paul, who's not known as a three-point shooter, and Draymond, and potentially even Looney on the court together. One of those three guys will be initiating the action. So you don't have to count him as a non-shooter because he has the ball. So, like, what I'd imagine what we would do when we started to do it last year is, have Herb initiate. Or that's, again, for me, why I'm saying, like, I'll do a lot more with the ball in my hands this year is because I'll initiate the offense. So no matter what, somebody's got to guard me. I have the ball. So I'm not classified as a non-shooter in that scenario. And I think just little ways like that just to keep the defense honest. Obviously, missing Trey, dude can shoot from 30 feet. So it's you're missing the spacing, but you gain it in other ways, right? Like, again, just initiating with a non-shooter, or like Trey's Trey's obvious spacing, the definition of spacing the court. There's also spacing vertically. And that's why a lot of the times, sometimes you'll see, we saw Jackson down there a lot, cutting from the corners and throwing lobs. Again, with me coming down to weight, lobs will become back, they'll come back into my menu. So, I think there'll be ways we can get creative, but I think the biggest thing would just be, it's great to have our shooters healthy again. And two, you'll see a lot of initiating with a non-shooter. Again, Z, myself, even BI is a little hesitant to shoot threes. He'll initiate. Herb will initiate. So Dice will initiate. And again, these guys are all, hopefully we all take jumps in our shooting. But, you got to plan for just in case you don't.
Great answer, man. Gotta give love to all of our people that are watching live on YouTube right now. Super chat, Ezekiel. I see you as always supporting. Shout out to you, brother. I'm gonna move forward here to Ryan. Ryan, you here?
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Yeah, so I just had to stay on basketball. I just wanted to ask what you think of Cody Zeller. I feel like I'm not the only one who forgot that we signed him. I know who he is, as we can see him, but from player to player, what kind of things is he going to bring to the team, to practice? I know we lost Jax, I know we lost Willie. So what are you looking forward to with Cody Zeller? And then if you have time, has anybody taken Hawk under their wing yet?
So with Cody, again, I was teammates with Cody in Portland, and he is going to be another vet for us. I mean, he's, it just sounds silly, but like, it matters to be constantly on time. It matters to constantly show up to to be the first one in the meetings. It matters to for Hawkins to see me, CJ, and Cody sit in front row in the film room. It matters to see, when you got guys that have been in the league for 10 plus years, no matter how good you are at the moment, right? Like and this applies for everybody that hasn't been there, Z, BI, Hawkins, Trey, Herb, like all these guys, like we all want longevity. And Cody has that. He's been in the league for, I want to say 11 years now. So, you don't get there by luck. And that it just gives these young guys another guy to emulate and kind of look at and say, not necessarily in turn, Jordan Hawkins can't learn a whole lot from Cody Zeller from on the basketball court skill perspective. But like, you can learn that, okay, if Cody's not late, I can't. Like, I can't be late. If CJ and Larry are like they're the first ones here, why am I after them? They've got tenure. It's my rookie year. And so it's more like a learn by example type thing. Plus, the dude plays hard as heck. I mean, it's fun to watch him play, and it's fun to be on the court with him because he's gonna get all he's got. And Lord knows we need some cover in that. We need some cover just in case guys break down in the season. And two, I don't necessarily think anyone's taking Hawk under their wing yet. I mean, it's too hard in the summertime. Guys are, I live in Cleveland. BI's been in Manila and playing Olympics. CJ's been back and forth. Guys are in and out of town all the time. So it's hard. We haven't really gotten to be around each other. But I'm sure in season he'll gravitate to someone and that'll happen naturally.
Cool. Thank you, man. Looking forward to the season.
For sure.
Let's see who we got here next. Sam, and then once Sam is done, Larry, I do want to ask you a little bit more. That there's been a little bit of conversation and debate about Brandon in regards to 3-point shooting, versus should he shoot more threes, should he not? Considering maybe some of the other points of his game that's elevated. We'll get to that after Sam. Sam, you here?
I am, and I want to thank you, Chris, for putting on a wonderful show, and Larry, as always, very much appreciated you taking time with us. So my question really is more of a statement. You've done so much for the community. You've been involved since you've been here, day one. What I want to do is do something for you. I want to invite you to Tipitina's for a night of just New Orleans music. Something, I don't know if you've had a chance to experience uptown New Orleans. Tipitina's is the heartbeat of the city when it comes to the music of the city, and I just think it would be a very nice thing for someone who's been so connected to the community to see that part. So I want to just offer you something nice, and hopefully we can have a good night, have a couple cocktails, and you can see another part of the city.
Tipitina's.
Yes.
Tipitina's. I appreciate that. I have not been there yet, and that's something I might. Right now, my wife and baby just went back to Cleveland for a little bit, but as soon as they get back, we're gonna get a babysitter, and I will. I love some live music, so I would love to go have a night out and grab some drinks, and I just would rather bring wifey with me, so I'll wait on her. But I appreciate that, and you can count on us being there.
100% family. We definitely want you to come as you feel most comfortable. September 29th, Galactic plays, which would be a great show if you're able to make that one. That would be one I would highlight. But nonetheless, I'd love to just connect with you and see how we could put that together. And again, I want to thank you for doing so much for this community.
No, of course, I appreciate it. And when September 29th, if you I'll write that down and we'll stay in contact about that. But I'll tell my wife, like, hey, get a babysitter. September 29th, we're going to Tipitina's. So it's on the schedule. I appreciate you, man.
Very good. Thank you, sir. All right, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, Kobe, I see you requesting. I need more. I need more requests. So some of you guys is out here. Whatever questions that you have, pull up. You know what I mean? Let's talk. Let's chop it up. But before then, BI, Larry. So you mentioned that BI sometimes may be hesitant to shoot threes, and the debate that has been, I think it goes beyond just this season about people, fans, supporters, observers wanting him to shoot more, wanting him to have a higher volume, maybe something similar to his first season. I think the last year and a half, he's kind of toned down the volume as such. Being somebody that's there with him every day, what's your take on it? For a dude that is as good of a mid-range shooter as he is, has improved as a passer, as a driver, so on and so forth. What's your thought on that balance? Not just with BI, but just like as a player, like period, in this, where this era has kind of progressed, and what BI's gifts, because the percentages say even on his low volume, he's good at it. So what happens if he does shoot more, and what does that do for the team? What are your thoughts about those debates, and just being someone that's there with him every day as a hooper?
So the first thing I'll say is, look, it's really hard to tell. It's really hard to tell somebody that just came off averaging 24, 5 and 5, whatever he averaged, that they need to improve their game, right? Because I can play for 30 more years and I'm not getting 24, 5 and 5. And so that's his game. And I think you look at a guy like DeMar DeRozan, or even a guy like Chris Paul, that in their careers never necessarily were major three-point threats. And, Chris is a first ballot Hall of Famer, and DeMar, I don't know his numbers, but, he's got to be flirting with it. So, you can be really successful in this game without having to do that. But with that being said, I think it's twofold, right? Like we know who we have as a player in Brandon, what he likes to do. And so our job is to, the rest of us, including front office, coaching staff, locker room, is to fit in around it. Him and Z and CJ are the big puzzle pieces, and the rest of us are just like, we fill in the picture. So I think it's on us to figure a better way to get him those looks that he wants, or the shots that he does want. And then it is on him to keep working that aspect of the game. Obviously, I see him every day. The guy is there before most people, putting up threes with Fred. And it's it's an everyday thing, not an almost every day, not a sometimes, not a never. It's always. He's always working on his threes. And if there's one thing with Brandon that I know for a fact, is he's gotten better every year, right? Like, he's added something to his game every year. So I trust him to make the right decisions with his game and his work ethic to lead us in the right way. Whether that's more threes or less threes, I'm just ready to fill in around him. So I can't necessarily answer that one for you, but whatever he's ready to do, I'll be right behind him supporting him. I know the rest of us will.
So I mean, how about this? Let's say the team, I think Jonas has is a 3-point threat, right? But there's no one on the current team, right, that you would consider a stretch five, to say the least, right? So let's remove Brandon, and let's use you for an example. Let's say that there was with your ability, right, as a passer. I asked somebody I think it was I was in a group chat. I think shout out to Jones who ended up saying this, who voted you as one of the better passers on the team. So your ability as a passer, communicator, IQ, getting to the rim, a lot of the smarter plays around the basket to take place, tip dunks, right? Especially with you losing, however much weight you plan on losing, we assume that you'll see more of those. The lob threat element. But let's say if someone says, all right, this team doesn't have a stretch five, Larry, we need you to shoot more threes. What's the balance in there between they may having a point, but it may not be necessarily your 100% where your strengths lie currently right now, if that makes sense. What would be the balance for you there if that was something that was brought your way in regards to, Larry, we need you to take a higher volume of 3-point jumpers?
No, that's a good one as well. And this is going into year 9, and I've been told hey, you can shoot. We see every day at practice, we want you to shoot more threes. I've been told that for 9 years now. And so that's a good one. It's something that I deal with. And for me, it's really difficult to want to do something to get outside of everything that I know I'm already really good at, right? Like I shoot 70% at the rim, or like when you know what I mean. Like I'm exaggerating, but I shoot really good percentage at the rim. I finish great. I've got good hands down low. I know what I do really well, and it's oftentimes it's hard when I know, like, hey, I know the coaches, I need to stay in this corner, but like if I can get to the rim, there's nothing they can do, and so. That is a battle you fight. Like with Brandon, he's so good at his mid-range shots and so good at putting pressure on the rim and so good at distributing. It's hard to, and again, I haven't spoken to him about the psychology behind it, but for me, that's what I struggle with is just like, man, if I'm so good down low, right? Like I'm good at clearing space. I'm good at offensive rebounding. That's where I make my money, is in the paint. And so, for me, leaving the paint feels a little bit like, leaving the money, because that's where I've made my money, is the paint. So when I leave there, it's just like, this feels a little bit foreign and I'm uncomfortable. So I don't know if that's the same thing with him, but at least for me, it's that's what I've struggled with, is kind of wrapping my head around the fact that, like, it may not be the best thing for me individually as a player, but for the team, or it might be what I'm not most comfortable with, but for the team, it's what we need and what I have to do. So that's something that I work on every summer, and this summer is no different. I'd love to tell you that, yeah, I'm going to be pulling 2.5 threes this season, a game, 3 threes, which I've done in my career and shot a good percentage, but I can't tell you that. I'd love to be able to tell you that, but I just can't, because I can't tell you what it's going to feel like when I'm in the corner and Z drives to the rim, and I know, and I see maybe I can get a tip dunk or I can get an offensive rebound when I should be staying put and waiting for the kick out. So can't tell you. It's a read and react game, but that's kind of my thought process behind it. Right or wrong, that's where I lie.
Great answer, great insight there. Charles, you here?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, brother.
First off, Chris, thanks for doing this. Larry, 3 times, man. This is really awesome of you. Appreciate that. My question is around Coach Borrego and bringing in a new voice into the building with the group. It's been together, got a lot of cohesion. Off the court. How do you kind of bring in a new voice and welcome them and welcome the point of view that they bring?
Yeah, obviously, we haven't seen much of them right now. It's summertime, and I think the coaches are going to be having their meetings real soon about everything. But it's going to be easy. He's got, the man is he's what we need. That Charlotte Hornets team that he coached. Just being candid, they didn't have the most unselfish-minded offensive players on it, right? To put it very politically. and they were still tops in assists and expected assists in the season. So I'm really excited about that personally, because obviously the man knows how to get us to move the ball and get us to function as a unit, rather than playing, some ISO ball like we tend to do. And so I'm excited to embrace whatever he's got. And, I think I know CJ will. So I think if CJ, myself, and Brandon really lead the team and like, hey, no, guys, this is great, and here's the numbers behind why it's going to be great. He'll be welcomed with open arms, and hopefully guys are going to be really receptive to his teaching, because he's, if you can make those guys unselfish, you can make us, the 2017 Warriors.
Appreciate that, Larry, and good luck this season.
Appreciate you.
If y'all haven't already, please go tap in with Charles, man. Another one of my favorite people on this app. I actually got a chance to meet him in real life a couple times. Cool dude, man. You know what I mean? We part of a cool group chat that chop it up from time to time. But Charles, good dude, one of the smartest people you probably talk to about the game. So doesn't know what he's talking about. Tap in with Charles. Moving on, we got Schmidt.
Hey, what's up, Larry? I hope you've had a good summer. Not to keep driving the discussion back to three-point shooting, I guess my question to you would be, what if the team just had an identity that was just focused on living in the paint, getting to the line? It seems like there's a lot of players on the team uniquely skilled in that aspect. Oh, and grabbing offensive rebounds. So maybe like the team doesn't have to shoot a bunch of threes or like try to hit an arbitrary number like 35 attempts. What if it was focused on, hey, we're just going to grab as many offensive rebounds, we'll try to get to the line, try to live in the paint, and try to boost like possession efficiency that way, especially with, a guy like Trey being out. Because it definitely seems like from the outside looking in, like, I'm not trying to say like there's like a square peg in a round hole type of situation going on, trying to make some guys into three-point shooters that may not necessarily have that skill set with regards to like compared to like getting to the paint. But I guess, what are your thoughts on shifting the team philosophy, just like being a bruising team?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. We do have a lot of guys that play their game in the paint, and with us, I think early season we kind of saw that last year. We were beating teams up, and when I say we, I mean Z. It's tough. It's tough with a guy like that who, we've got our point Zion, and he's so dominant in the paint. When you make your identity, hey, we're gonna dominate these guys in the paint. We got this wrecking ball that's gonna get 27 points, and he's gonna shoot 70% doing it. And we also have, Larry and Jonas, who are going to be playing with him, that, do it different ways, but, get it done on the offensive boards and in helping him. And, obviously you've got Najee, who's of a similar, prototype in terms of scoring at the rim, and Herb, who wants to put pressure on the rim, and Jose, who wants to put pressure on the rim. And that is kind of the build of a lot of our guys. And obviously we can be successful in that, but a lot of it just depends on our personnel at the moment. When we don't have the bulldozer on the court, it's really hard to maintain that same presence. Obviously, I can't generate you 40 points a game with points and assists. He can. And so your identity changes a lot with whoever's on the court. And so, yeah, I'd love to tell you, yeah, hey, we're gonna dominate, and that's the plan. We're gonna dominate and just, make teams hate wanting to play us, and that's what we did last year until we didn't. And at that point, we were just kind of scrambling to figure out what was going on. But yeah, you're right. The plan is to dominate, and I don't think it should just be some arbitrary number of 32 threes a game. Like I don't think so, because you play to your player's strengths. But I'm not paid to come up with a game plan. I'm paid to do whatever they tell us to do. So if they tell me to dominate, guess what? I'm gonna do everything I can to do that. And and just like when Z's on the court, I'm kind of a perfect foil to him out there. So if we can dominate, we're going to dominate. But, with health permitting, we won't ever have to deviate from that.
Appreciate it, Larry.
I appreciate that, Shamit. Let me get to Crescent City Connection. You here, bro? You. Hold on. Okay, I think you're here now. Yo, Crescent City, you here? I don't think so. I'm gonna get you back up here. Darius, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
There we go. All right, bro, go ahead.
All right, first off, man, I want to say thank you, Larry, for pulling up once again and chopping it up with us regular folk, And Chris Conner, Lito, Boo Crew, all these other guys who cover the Pelicans, they pretty much keep us up to date with all the, our top guys. I want to ask you about somebody, I guess, towards the end of the bench. I want to ask you about Kara Lewis. Like, what you see in him? Do you think he can make an impact for this team in any kind of way?
First of all, I appreciate you. Obviously, this is fun for me. I enjoy pulling up the spaces and getting to chop it up with you guys. So, this is part 3, but hopefully it's of many more. But Kyra's one of my favorite guys to watch. Honestly, when I first got here, he was still rehabbing his ACL, and so, as someone that has been through that myself, I was keeping tuned into him and his rehab and just seeing how he was feeling throughout that. But when he got back and checked into a few games, it was like dude shooting like 50% from 3, and he's got the speed that we don't have. So personally, I love Kyra's game and I'd love to play alongside him. But it's also really tough. You got to look at who we have in that guard spot. It's going to be a fight for minutes. We've got CJ, we've got Dyson, we've got Jose, we've got Hawkins now, we've got Kyra, we've got and those are kind of our point guards. Unless we got Sebron. Guys, if I missed anybody, I didn't mean to, but we got a lot of really talented players at that spot, and so I think there's going to be some serious battles in camp for minutes. And Kyra is capable as anybody of winning those minutes. You can believe me, this dude gives us problems in practice. He's got the kind of speed you can't replicate, and his shot looks great. So I wouldn't count him out of the rotation just yet, because he looks great and he's been working. So I'm excited to see him, and this. We said it last year, but it's the same for this year. The depth we have is kind of ridiculous. So, no matter what, he'll get to see the court this year, and I know when he does, he'll impress people.
No doubt, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for answering the question, man.
No doubt.
Appreciate that, Darius. Next we got Kai, one of my favorite people. Kai, you here?
Oh, what's up?
Go ahead, bro.
Oh, what's up there? Hey, Larry, what's going on, bro? Hope you're enjoying your summer. I have a question, and I don't know if you can answer this question. It might go be a difficult question for you to answer. My thing is, going into the season, we all know the NBA is about having your dudes, right? Now, for you, what has Zion showed you coming into this season that make you think or have that belief that, okay, he's ready to be this thing that y'all and the franchise need him to be and make that leap, even far-wise as regarding injuries, right? I don't know if the injuries are just bad luck. I don't know if the injuries are lack of preparation or anything like that. But what has he shown, and why should we have that belief? Because a lot of the people in the fan base, it's a mixed bag, bro. It's like, it's that confidence there, but it's that kind of like, okay, is he going to be serious or not? So what has Zion shown you, and do you and other people in that locker room, you don't got to say any name, but do you and other people in that locker room have faith in Zion, that Zion is going to realize this season and go, okay, I know I'm a bad motherfucker, and this league know I'm a bad motherfucker, but I've taken the things this off season to get myself correct and right so I can show everybody else that I'm a bad motherfucker and put everybody on notice so that I can be that horse to lead us to that finish line. Why should the fan base have faith in him?
Well, the fan base should have faith in him because he played, I don't know how many games he played last year, 30, and was an all-star starter in a loaded Western Conference. That's why I have faith in him, is because I've seen what it looks like. And I my hand. You can't help that. Sometimes it just happens. And so, like, I can't go through, I know he had the hamstring strain. If you look around, it doesn't happen. And so I don't really, like, it's not that he's not taking it serious or that he's thinks it's a joke and thinks it's a game. That's not true. Cause I'm in there every day. And so I have faith in him because I've seen what he can be, and I believe in the person, the human being behind the player, and that's what is unfair that you guys, not unfair, but you guys don't get to see that, right? You don't get to see the human being that's dealing with these injuries, and I know like you're tired of it, but sometimes your body just doesn't want it to happen. So, summer, I don't. His training regimen, but and when he's playing, but you don't get to that point without being dedicated to the game. You don't just wake up averaging 27 and 7 and 7 in the best league in the world. The amount of work and dedication required to do that is massive. And so to say that he doesn't take it serious isn't fair to him. Sometimes the body just doesn't want to work right. Sometimes things happen on a basketball court. So I understand it's been frequent, and it's been hard to rock with and get behind something that you don't necessarily know is going to be on the court. But as someone that sees the person every day, he feels the same way we do. He wants to be on the court. You don't get to be a monster without putting in the work. So I don't necessarily have an answer for. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him a whole lot this summer, and in Cleveland we stay in contact. So I don't know necessarily what he looks like, what he's been doing, but I believe that the human being is tired of all of it and ready to play.
So I can lay that 25 on there. He like at plus 600 right now for MVP. So I can lay that down on him. That what you saying? Hey, bro, I try to trouble, bro.
If you want me to play, if you want me to play basketball this season, I can't answer that question.
Like, just let me know, bro. We can go hang. That's all I got. Y'all have a blessed one. All right, bye.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Kyle. Oh, that was fun, man. Hey, Jones, you here, bro?
Hey, yeah, I'm here.
What's good, brother? Go ahead.
Hey, thank you, Larry, for coming in and doing these spaces. I really appreciate it. I know a lot of other people do as well. I had a question. As somebody who's been in the league for a while and somebody who's been on a few different teams, right? And you obviously built relationships with a lot of other players that you play with, and not just that you play with, that you have competed against. Can you speak a little bit to what are the differences when it comes to rest and recovery between teams and when it comes to medical staffs between teams as well. Because I'm sure everybody knows that it's largely a copycat league in a lot of ways, but it's the little things that certain teams do, right? And they have to obviously do things different because a reputation like Miami, they have a very high reputation when it comes to things like this, but some other teams might not. And I was wondering if you can kind of speak to from what you've seen or also what you heard on some of the different things from rest and recovery to just medical in general that kind of make some teams better than others.
So that has a lot to do with the medical team. Their job is to read and react to what they have in front of them. So with all, like, the medical team, I don't want to say they have a say in it. Obviously, they're the medical team, but it really comes down to who's your coach. Like Pop, clearly, when he had Tim Duncan and Manu in them, he was good with it because he'd just say old and keep them out. Obviously, certain coaches are, have that rapport with the league. Some don't. Some are learning it, and there's a fine line. It also depends on your roster. A team like Sacramento last year, right? Like, I think I saw something. They had their starters played 75 of 82, and that's just, if you're fortunate enough to have that kind of health, it looks really good on your medical team and your, on your decision makers on terms of when to rest and when to play and all that. But we weren't fortunate to have that same luck with our injuries, and so it's always a tough dynamic there. But it really comes back to your organization's views on it, and I think we're gonna do some of that. I don't think that's letting the cat out of the bag or telling anything I shouldn't, because I think everyone knows that injuries are our biggest enemy. And so if we can limit back-to-backs that some of our guys play when maybe we can do without them, or we go to a top 4 seed in the East on the road, we play in Philly and it's like, you know what? Or we play in Boston. It's like, what? We just beat a team we should beat. Let's give these guys a rest. And because you can stomach a loss on the road against the top 4 seed in the East, a team in a different conference, and it's on the road. Like, those are almost chalk up losses anyway. So, if we can strategically figure out a way to do it to keep our best players on the court, I'd be all for that. And plus, as an added little bonus, it gives guys that don't normally get to play a chance to show what they got, right? Like, I would love for all these guys to get minutes, everybody to get minutes, but it's just not going to happen. So sometimes it is good to give these guys a run out and give these guys real NBA minutes, and it's become a useful tool for a lot of teams. And so I do think you'll see us use more. But again, that's just my thoughts on it. I could be totally wrong. Another one of my favorite people to chop it over with, knows the game well, man. Y'all, support is always showing love, man. So definitely, Ramos, you get 2, man. Go ahead, brother.
I appreciate that. I just wanted to take the time to say that I appreciate everything that y'all have done. Y'all allow all of us. I'm sorry, I'm like heavy-winded because I just ran down the stairs. But I just wanted to say that I appreciate everything that y'all have done. Y'all are awesome. Propels Talk and Chris Connor, everything that y'all do for us fans to be able to interact with our favorite players and everything like that. That's awesome. So I just wanted to take some time and say thank you, and I appreciate that. So Larry, I had a question of if you've spoken recently to like BI after the the FIBA didn't go as well as everybody had anticipated originally. I just wanted to know what like his mental was like. How is he doing mentally? Is he okay? Is he good? Like, does he still have that mindset of like, this season I'm gonna be prepared. I'm gonna do all the things necessary in order for me to like, be at my best at all times and try to be as healthy as possible throughout the season. Like, my first question was just like, if you have, how is he doing mentally?
So no, I haven't. I sent him a little text, but I haven't reached out to him, to talk more intensively on it, just because, like you said, I'm sure it didn't go how he had envisioned as well. And so, there's always like you want to give him some space to deal with that and process it however he wants to process it. But I'll see him whenever he's in New Orleans, and it's a tough situation. It's a tough situation. Obviously, European basketball being different, and you put a bunch of number one and number two options on a team and expect them to just fall into a rotation and a pecking order, and it's just not going to happen like that. So I think no one on the team's worried about him. BI's a professional, right? Dude comes in every day to work, and he's always on his job and always improving. So I don't think the only thing that I think we'll get from this, what was it? World qualify? What was this? The Olympics or something? The World Cup? I'm not sure what it was called.
FIBA.
The FIBA. Well, yeah, the FIBA. Whatever that. I think the only thing we'll get from that is a Brandon Ingram with an FU mindset. And I mean, if you guys remember the end of the year, I'll take that Brandon Ingram any day. So I don't really think it's going to have too much of an impact on us at all. If anything, it'll be positive because, the BIIDO is not someone that's going to sit around and sulk on it. He's probably pretty irritated and wanting to show everyone that he should have been 1, 2, 3, 4 option closing games like we all have seen and we all know he can do.
Agreed. Okay. Well, my second question is like, going into this season, what is the expectation as a team? Like, what's the mindset? What's the mind frame? Like, what is your goal as a team towards this season? Like, obviously, the way that last season had ended was really, really just disappointing for everybody. Like, we all had faith, we all had hope that we were going to get further, but injuries, like you said before, it happens. Like, nothing can really stop that from happening. The best thing you can do going forward is to do the best things you can, to prevent an injury from happening, but you can't always do that. But going towards this season, like, what's the team goal of, like, where's your expectations of where you're gonna be? Like, how far are you gonna go? Like, what's the expectation of that?
So that's a hard one to answer. Obviously, we haven't had any formal discussions on that yet. But look, it's really hard to look past last year. It's really hard to look past last year where at Christmas we have an MVP candidate, 3 6 Man of the Year candidates, and the first seed in the West. It's really hard to look past that. So we know what we have in the locker room. And again, like you said, health permitting is a toss-up. We don't know. But, guys have taken the precautions. And again, like, you can't plan for a twisted ankle or something like that. That's just sometimes just happens. So it's, like I said, it's hard to look past us being first in the West. And I just can't imagine that being short of anybody's goal if we're healthy. I know for me, that's my thoughts is like, look, I see any problems. Nobody wanted to see us. They still don't. I was talking to Summer League this summer, and he was like, man, the second we saw you, Can we all believe? We all breathe a sigh of relief because we wanted no smoke. None. And that's the champs. So I just really think that should be the goal, is first in the West and making everybody hate playing us, because we'll beat you up in the paint. We're gonna do what we do, and we got the thin twins, Bi and Trey, and we got Z getting that coming to the rim every single time. So we're a problem when healthy, and again, I think there's no real goal set yet, but again, it should be first in the West. If not, just maintain health, get in the playoffs healthy, and let everybody find out who we really are once we get it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So Ramos, man, welcome to Twitter, man. It's a crazy place on here, man. So be careful. Larry, you said something that needs to be repeated, so I make sure I heard it correctly. What you call Bi and who was it, Trey? What you call them?
The thin twins.
They okay with that? You just came in with that on your own.
Oh, I don't know if they're okay with that.
Okay.
I just kind of, I don't know. I think Corey Brewer might be in the group too.
That's terrible. That's terrible. All right, we're gonna move on. Ahmed, you here?
You guys hear me?
Sorry, go ahead, bro.
First and foremost, I'll get the pleasantries out of the way. Nice to meet you guys. I'm from the UK. It's kind of late, so I'll try and make this quick. And I'm not trying to keep up anybody. I'm trying to sleep at home, basically. But Boot Crew, you guys have made it so easy for me to transition to basketball. I'm still learning the ropes, I'm not going to lie. So I can't really ask the high-level basketball questions. But I wanted to give like the spotlight on someone I really like. Probably the reason why I support Pels, Alvarado. I was just watching basketball with my cousins because I had nothing else to do. And then the whole play-ins, I think it was 21, 22. I think you played Spurs and Clippers. And then the whole Phoenix run, just Alvarado's like passion, his heart, right? And I feel like it's easy to recognize when Z's not playing and when we're missing Bi or whatever, but I feel like we've missed Alvarado a lot. And I just want to hear it from you and like just give me a better understanding of what Alvarado brings and what we should be like looking forward to having him back. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. And I think if you watched us towards the end of last year, you saw that we missed Jose. Obviously, he's, I think, clearly one of our better shooters and clearly one of our better players off the bench. And it's tough when you've got a guy that creates so much energy for your team, whether it be through having the ball or hiding behind getting one of his GTA steals and hyping everybody up. Like the energy he brings is unmatchable. And so we miss that a lot. And I'm looking for, he's back and playing, and I've seen him pick up. He looks great. And so, we're happy to have him back. He's someone that, obviously has the capability of exploding too, and do that for us. So it'll be it's always welcome.
You can really see his energy, like whenever I'm watching him, like, and that's what resonates with me the most. Like, he's not the biggest guy, but he has the biggest, like, he's the dog, like, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't need to be the biggest guy. Like, you can just see the way he is just barking and like just the energy, like it resonates with me, if that makes sense. And I think we've been missing that. Like, sometimes things haven't gone well during the season, like last season, and I feel like if he was there, like he'll put your arm around your shoulder, and like literally bring the energy back in the crowd. And I feel like we've missed that a lot, but hopefully we see that next season.
Yeah, no, I think we will. He'll if there's one thing I know Jose will do, he'll have Smoothie King rocking. So get ready for that.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate that, man. All the way from the UK, man. That's dope, man. And we got people from different countries. I'm trying to get my dog up here from Australia, but he having some connection issues. But shout out to you, Ahmed. We're gonna move to my dog Everett, and then Brian, and then we're gonna go to Chaz. I'm trying to think, is there any who else here? Yeah, so we're gonna do Everett, we're gonna do Brian, and then my dog Chaz. Everett, what up, bro?
Yeah, what up, Chris? What's happening, big dog?
What's
Hey,
good,
man, listen. First of all, I didn't know you had pull like that, Chris. The dude before. We sure that wasn't Victor Wembanyama? Because I swear to God, his profile picture looks just.
Excuse me?
That's not Victor? Oh,
Nah,
my
man.
bad, my bad. But no, I appreciate
Go
I
ahead, man.
appreciate you, Chris, for letting us pull up. Larry, appreciate you, my guy, for coming through once again. My only question is, I apologize if you asked this already. If somebody asked you this earlier, but hey, man, talk about my man JB and y'all relationship and what he brings to the team, because he be catching strays for no reason in the fan base. But I want somebody from the inside to talk about what JB brings to the Pelicans team.
Is it? Did you say JB Borrego or JV?
JV Valanciunas.
Okay, all right. Sorry, I couldn't hear. I mean, JV does everything. He does everything. The man is top 3, top 5 in rebounds every single year. I think it was Charlotte last year where he had 30 and 20. I think it was the year before where he had 37 and hit 7 threes on the Clippers. Like, JV can do everything, and it's a shame he's often not appreciated as much here, because he's so good and has been doing it for 10 plus years now that we should recognize that. But the biggest thing with him that I'm just like I've never really come across before is the fact that, like, me and him are center 1 and center 2, and I'll close games sometimes, he'll close games sometimes, and it's oftentimes on most teams that's a tough relationship, right? Like, it's tough. Like, we know he's going to start, but we have no idea who's going to finish, how these minutes are going to play out. If, like, there were times last year where I played 18, 20 minutes straight to close the game, and that, that's tough. The man's been starting his whole career, and the fact that he can watch something like that happen, or see that, hey, they went small ball, look at the bench and go, I know you're taking me out soon. Like, let's go. Let's get Larry in here. And just as I will when they put Embiid in the game, I want no smoke. So take, JV, come on. And I think it's a really cool dynamic when you've got a person who's started in the NBA for 10 years and has an awesome resume to be okay with just coming out of the game and, sacrificing some of his minutes for the greater good of the team. That, whether it's Herb coming at the 5, whether it's me coming at the 5, whether it's Cody, whether it's whoever coming in at the 5, like, he's very impressive in that way. You're not going to see many vets that have had the track record of starting that he does be okay with just not finishing some games and being taken out in certain situations because coach wants to do something different. A lot of guys let their egos get in the way, and JV has been I haven't really come across that in my career yet. So I think the world of JV, and I'm ready to get to camp with him, and hopefully not catch too many elbows. That was okay. Appreciate that, Everett. We're gonna move to Brian G. Guys, I'm probably gonna wrap this up in like 20 minutes or so. So let's try to keep the rhythm of the questions going so we can get as many out as possible here for the rest of the people that's up here to speak. Get Larry on with his night. Brian, you here?
Yes, sir. Chris, much thanks to you for allowing me to come up in your space. And just so everybody knows, I am a Cavs fan. Larry, I don't have a question for you, but I had to come up here and just tell you how much I admire the young man that you are and how you carry yourself and what you've done for these fans and this Pelicans fan base by being here tonight. It just speaks volumes to your character, how you carry yourself, who you are. Please don't ever change. Just keep being you. I also wanted to tell you that I remember the day the Cavs traded for your dad, and it was such a joy and a pleasure to watch him play with Mark Price, Brad Doherty, Hot Rod, all them guys back then when they were just winning games after games, best record in the NBA under Lenny Wilkens, so on and so forth. I just wanted to come up here and pay you pay you that respect, bro, and just let you know, from a 54-year-old man, I admire so much young men like you and how you carry yourself. And please don't ever change. That's mad respect for you and props to you. Good luck with your season. Good luck to all the Pelicans fans with their season. Larry, please stay healthy. I miss you in Cleveland, bro. I was so excited when they traded for you back when you came from LA, because I followed you with the Lakers. Loved your game. Keep doing what you're doing. Good luck to you. I just wanted to come up and just pay that little bit of respect to you, sir. So have a great night.
Oh man, I appreciate that. I really do. Obviously, basketball's what I do, not who I am, and I only get a little bit of my life to be a basketball player. So we got to be human beings for the rest, for the majority of it. So that's for me, I always put that first, and it's not for acknowledgement or not for to be acknowledged, but I do appreciate that, and it means a lot to me.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I again, anybody from during the summertime, and still keep in touch with all the players and coaches. And
Well, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this, Larry, is because I don't think enough kids, and I'm sorry to call you a kid, bro, but I'm 54. But I don't think enough kids like you get the respect that you deserve for being who you are. Too much of the world wants to talk about the negative. Too much of the world wants to talk about the bad, where I'm one of those guys. I think the good needs to be recognized and the good needs to be put out there as examples for everybody. So that's why I wanted to come up here and say that to you. Chris, I'm going to go ahead and dip out. Don't want to take up too much more of your space. I know you're limited on time. Chris, thank you so much for allowing me to come in. Kudos to you. And good luck to everybody's season. Stay healthy. Larry, appreciate you, man. Have a good night.
Appreciate you, Brian. Have a great one. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I mentioned, I kind of forget sometimes. I think none of the other spaces, no one's really mentioned your pops too much, but I wasn't expecting Mr. Slam Ambassador to get a shout out, so that's cool, man.
The ambassador. I have not heard that one, but I love it. Can I have that for myself? Can I get that?
As long as you promise to never say Tiny Twins ever again.
Whoa,
wow.
It wasn't Tiny, it's the Thin Twins.
That's even worse. Just don't say
Why
it.
is that worse?
It's just not good. You can do better.
I can do better, but I've done better. I have a track record of doing better.
You want to talk about Dice Spice now, or you want to?
That's first of all, that Dice Spice is hilarious, and if you try to tell me it's not, I'll know.
Okay, all right, I'm moving forward.
It's hilarious, bro.
It's horrible, and it's no, because you know what, you gonna get me started and irritated, so we're not gonna do that. But shout Brian, appreciate you coming up there. Chaz, you here?
Yeah, I'm maybe up.
Floor is yours, bro.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. Hey, Larry, bro, I wanted to echo the sentiments of Brian and really thank you for all the things you've done in the community. And I know a lot of times when players get traded to communities, there's no natural attachment. So I really wanted to thank you for some of the efforts you put forth, and even joining a community like this and kind of making yourself available to the fan base. Really appreciate that, bro. And also, I'm sorry, Larry, you about to say something?
I was just gonna say thank you. It's it's one thing. When I left Portland, I was unsure. I didn't know much about New Orleans at all, but the fans, the community, the people, the organization since I've gotten here has been like a dream come true. So I'm happy. I don't want to go anywhere. And as long as I'm here, and hopefully even when I'm gone, we'll have some lasting impact in the community, and we're gonna keep doing that. But you guys keep doing you, keep doing me, and we can maintain this positive relationship.
Most definitely, man. So I wanted to ask you, Larry, I know you're from a few organizations that have, a history of excellence. Come from the Cavs championship organization, LeBron, those guys, Lakers, even Portland. And you've seen Were you there when Kyrie was there in Cleveland, Larry?
No, me and Kai never crossed paths.
Okay, but you have witnessed, the Dame and CJ breakup. So as a professional player, and I'm asking you to be as transparent as you can be, right? And I understand, I don't want to put you on the spot, make you uncomfortable. But at what point, from even a player's perspective, is it just like, all right, look, enough is enough? Like, context be damned. It's going on 5 years now. Shit ain't gonna work. Shit ain't working. At what point, like, even as a player, do you make the decision like, okay, hey, something needs to be done here. Maybe we need to pivot and go in a different direction, or like, where do you stop exhausting all resources from a player's perspective?
So I'm not certain what you're asking. Are you asking like, hey, when I was if I've been in Portland with them for 10 years and it's still been days, and it's like, all right, you know what? This shit ain't working. We need to do something different. I apologize. I just this ain't working. We need to do something. Or like, I'm not sure what your
that perspective. I swore first, so I messed it up. That was on me.
I just didn't. You know how it is.
Yeah, I got you. But yeah, I'm asking that. I mean, we're entering the 5th year now of this duo, and context be damn. It's like it just ain't working. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just ain't working. And of course, that don't involve you and CJ. You guys just come, and like I said, you guys have been great. You personally play. I really want to commend you on that, setting that example and just being, just a leader that's on the floor and locker room, everything. That's extremely commendable. But as far as we are in a result-driven league, and it's like, man, we're going on year 5 now, and at some point, everyone's going to run out of optimism. So, as a player, when do you run out of optimism?
That's a good question. I think you run out of everybody's time. Everybody's clock is different, right? Like when I was in LA, I could have stayed there for year after year after year, because even if we weren't good, because I didn't know any better. I didn't know any better than what we were doing, and we had some really tough seasons. Same thing a little bit. Really was really screwed me up. From a career perspective, because I went from it's really hard to have patience for much else. Once you see that high of a level of basketball, like, it's fun. I know that always like the Chris Paul, like, to being the player in the final. It's true getting that basketball, and it's just time. So I think if you've been the drug that is playoff basketball. And the hope is that, I'm trying to think. From Zeke's first year was no playoffs, second year no playoffs, third no playoffs, or third was playoffs, right? So third we made playoffs, played Phoenix. So that you sniff it, right? We played the Suns, and the hope is that your team responds, because now you've seen it. They've got the bug, they've got the hope that your team responds exactly how we responded in year 4. You'd hope that they respond. We were, again, clicking on all cylinders, and we came out hungry and fighting. And that's what you want. And so there's where it's piece fits in it. because I believe I've seen it. And even without Z, we gave Phoenix all they could. They were so ready to be done with that series, and that was without our best player, of course. So if we can mess around and be healthy, oh man, there's no situation like this in the league. It doesn't come around all. Throw to the playoffs. And so, I've got a lot of time for this because of the people in the organization and
for everything you do in the community, Larry, and just making yourself available to the fan base. Appreciate you, bro. Have a great season.
Awesome. I appreciate you.
My colleague at Boo Crew, man, just all around solid dude, man. Cheddar Chaz, hot takes with Cheddar Chaz. He got a show coming out, I think, very, very soon. Yeah, man, y'all tap in if y'all have not already. Let me see here. You know what? Let me get to a couple of these YouTube questions before I forget them. Then we're gonna go to Lyle. We're gonna go to La, and then we're gonna wrap up. What is that here? This is from Chris Gray on YouTube. When the real, I'm gonna use the typo that was put in here. When the real striker comes back healthy, can he close at the small ball 5?
What?
Listen. I'm just the messenger, brother.
I got it.
Yeah.
First
The
of
real
all,
striker.
also, I didn't come up with that. I don't claim it, and I had nothing to do with that. I just want that. I want that put out there.
You know what? I gave you bail on that. The last time, it was clear. Even Trey told me he didn't come up with it. So I was cool with it. But Dice Spice and Tiny Twins or Thin Twins. Then it's not just Can he play small ball 5, brother? When can he?
I don't know. I don't know because you'd like to see a little bit more weight on him before that happens. Because if I was on the other team, I would respond to us putting Trey at the 5, and I'd put me in the game, or I'd put I'd put all our small ball 5 in, and then just tell him I'd go get every single rebound. If he were at the 5. So it's really hard. You'd want to see more weight on Trey before we put him at the small ball 5. But I'll tell you, who can play the small ball 5 is Herb. Herb's got that physicality, and he's got the physicality about him to do it. And I think Herb could close at the 5 sometimes. Obviously JV, obviously myself. We have a number of guys that can, but I'm not certain if Trey's the 5. You're gonna have, if Trey's the 5, the guys that are gonna be 1 through 4 are gonna be really small. You're gonna have probably Brandon, CJ. I can't even think of who would be on the court for Trey to be the 5. Like if Z's on the court, he'd be the 5. But
real quick, what do you think is the optimal weight for a small ball 5? Since you mentioned he would have to put on some weight, but just it doesn't even have to be with Trey. Just in general, what do you think is the optimal weight?
Oh, again, it depends on what your body can handle. Because like if I'm going to play small ball 5, it depends on what you're asking me to do. Right. The past few years I've played at 250. This year I'll come into camp around 242, 240. And whereas a guy like Herb can play small ball 5 at I don't know how much he weighs, but I'd have to guess around 225, 220, somewhere in there. It all depends on what your body can handle. Where if Z plays small ball 5, that's going to be higher than me, and that's going to be even higher than me. So it just depends on what your body can handle, and it's for everybody. There's an adjustment period of finding that balance of what you need to push with the bigger guys and what your knees can tolerate, and you find a weight in between there, and but it's a fine line. I'm not there's no perfect weight.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's move to Lyle here. Lyle, you here?
Yeah, g'day, mate. How are you?
What's good, bro?
Oh, beautiful Saturday morning in Perth, Western Australia. What more can you ask for? um, thanks for getting us up here, and hi, Larry. Thanks for giving us the time again. Always great to hear from you, and particularly in the NBA, the doldrums of the NBA off season. But my a question for you is, what are your I suppose feelings coming into this season, and if you could sort of channel that into a rev up statement or something for the fans to get them all up and about for this season coming in, if it's going that way. Just because I know there's a lot of people, I suppose, whistling away in the off season, waiting for Pels basketball to start again. So if you could give us a little nugget or something like that can get us all revved up, that'd be great.
That's a tough one. But here's what I'll say. I think you'll be hard pressed to find another team in the NBA that had an off season where we sent. Was this the Olympics? It wasn't the Olympics. What was this called? FIBA? Just the World Championships? Whatever it's called. The World Cup. Thank you. That sent a player to the World Cup. Had two players on the World Cup prep team. I should say one player. We sent BI over. We sent JV over. Dice was in it. Jose would have been in it. Would have had four players in the World Cup, along with two players in the U.S. prep team, along with a guy, with your best player Zion, who's rested, had 8 months of rest, and also returning a healthy 20-point scorer. And neither one of those two guys are any of the guys that played in the World Championship. So, I think you'll be hard pressed to find a team that had 5 guys involved, let alone their 2 of their other top 3 just sitting on ice, getting ready for the season and getting healthy. So our outlook and the talent that we've accumulated on this roster is, ridiculous. Ridiculous from a basketball view is just outrageous. And again, you've got Willie going into another year of being ready. We brought in a great basketball mind offensively, and our defense was 6th overall last year, and Herb's back another year. Hopefully Herb will be healthier. Hopefully I'll be healthier. Hopefully, we'll have more of our defensive players back active. And there's a lot of reasons to be really optimistic for this year. And for me, I'm always glass half full. So look, I fully plan on being able to sit the last 2 or 3 games of regular season because we've clinched the top 4 seed. That is what I would love to do, and what I would be looking for out of this year.
Well, I'm ready to run through a brick wall again now. You've got me back in. Thanks, Larry. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt. I appreciate the question. That's a good one.
Appreciate you, Lyle. Lyle, you here?
Yeah, I'm here. You can hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, bro.
I appreciate you, Chris, from hosting the spaces like always. What's up, Larry? I watch y'all a lot. I appreciate everything you do for the team, the community. I like what y'all do. But this is what I got. I got a question. So we all know, like us as a fan base, we talked about this. We had a couple unplayable guys last year. We got rid of 3 unplayable dudes. We kind of signed another borderline unplayable dude. So we heard that David Griffin said, "Oh, we want to change some things out because we want to win a season." Okay, how do we want to win a season if some things still it's the same?
I think the first thing that the first thing that you should think about is the term unplayable is so relative. It's so relative. Like, if you told me that Jackson Hayes, which I assume is one of the guys that you're referring to, that Jackson Hayes had started every game for the Lakers this year, averaged 12 and 6, I'd be like, yeah, I believe that. I believe that. He's fully capable of doing more than that. And I think he'll be successful in that system. Unplayable is in the eye of the beholder and the team, right? Like, I nobody in the NBA is unplayable. Everything is opportunity, and everything is confidence and opportunity. And so I just don't like the term. I just don't like the term used personally, but to say we want to have a winning year and bringing in a guy like Cody Zeller, who again you deemed as unplayable, but the Heat played in the finals, it's harsh. That's harsh. I mean, the man has been like I said, the man's been in the NBA for 10 plus years. You don't do that by luck. He will be on the court at some point this year, and I have full confidence in him to surprise you guys. And potentially being frustrated in off season is fine, but if you look at it from a front office perspective, what would you have liked to do? You can make a big trade, but that's potential diminishing returns. Like, there's a lot that goes into it. So I understand the up and down, the frustration from a fan perspective, but like, we have everything in the locker room to be extremely successful. Now, like, it's not on the decision makers. If we health is not their fault. Obviously there are certain guys that have a better track record than others, but it's really hard to say, what if Philly had traded Joel Embiid? Like, that's an MVP. So we have no idea when this kid gets right. Or B.I. stubbed his toe last year. Let's say he doesn't. We're not looking at a 9 seed or a 10 seed. It's literally been an ounce of bad luck that has just crumbled everything. So it's hard not to run it back, because again, what you have in the locker room was a first seed in the West. So to an extent, you got to really give it another good look, I would say. And so you can be frustrated. You can think that Jax was a bad player when he's as talented as anyone I've seen. You can think that Billy was unplayable when he's going to go would dominate. When I say dominate, I mean capitalize, dominate EuroLeague basketball. These guys are really good players. Cody's a really good player, and I think each one of them this year, if you tune into each one of them, you'll see that a situation means a whole lot. And the term unplayable is the wrong choice of words for that one.
I appreciate you from answering the question. Thank you.
I got first off, appreciate the question, La. I got one more YouTube question for you, and then I'm gonna wrap up with for Lauren and get you out of here, Larry. This is from Big Swole. Okay. How do you feel about the new load managing rule, and what do you think about certain players being exempt?
I don't know the new load management rule, and I don't know who's exempt. I've not been tuned in. If you could fill me in, that'd be great, or someone.
So basically they designated what stars are, right? So like guys that haven't made an all-star team in the past 3 years, for example. If I'm correct, let me find it here. I think it's that they can't miss the same like the same game, or it's a certain amount of games that they can't miss. But anybody basically who's been like all NBA or like all-star in the past 3 years, it's made to kind of force, or in their mind it's made to force players to play, even though it's a lot of loopholes involved. And I guess it's set up to where if you fall under that designation of having those guys as, if without them being and I don't know how it works in regards to health designation necessarily. That's going to be something interesting to see, but it's built. I think the biggest conversation about it is that it defined. They came up with an actual term about what a star is, and a star that fits into the situation of players that can't miss certain amount of games or can't be ruled out or scratched out for rest or whatever the case may be, fall under certain guidelines, all NBA, all star, so on and so forth.
And so it's like if you rest a guy that's deemed a star when he shouldn't be rested, you get fined.
I don't know the punishment 100%, but there is some kind of. I'm gonna pull it up here shortly, but
okay. I think with load management, it's always you're never gonna get players, owners, and fans on the same page when it comes to load management. And I understand all three's perspective because, fans and the NBA want you to play every single night because it's, we pay a lot of money to support the teams and for league pass and for tickets. And it's not cheap to come to an NBA game and you want to see your favorite players. And that's one perspective, and it's a very real one. But from a lot of players' perspective, it is like, hey, look, as an athlete, you get, if you're lucky, 10, 12, 15 years to play basketball. It's not a long time. And I'm fortunate to where I have my degree. I can, do something with that afterwards if I wanted to. But a lot of these guys come straight out as a freshman or straight out as sophomores and never finish up their schooling. So you get guys that, hey, if you're going to work 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, and then you're done for the rest of your life. That's it. And so from a player's perspective, you want to prolong that. You want to increase your shelf life. So trying to take strategic games to make sure you stay healthy. I mean, my dad played 13 years, and if you guys could see him walk right now, it's like, it's painful. And he, it's serious body sacrifice that goes into playing. So I understand that perspective as well. And I don't think there's going to be any real middle ground. There's going to be loopholes, and there's going to be kicking and screaming and fighting because, the money in the NBA is outrageous at the moment and only getting higher, and guys want to play longer and longer. And, if you've got it's tough balancing. Yes, I want to be out there because the people that support me want to see me play, but also I want to feed my family for as long as I can and rack up this money, while it's in front of me, because I get this and then nothing else for the rest of my life if I'm not prepared enough. So there's never going to be my thoughts on it are that everyone's going to have their own perspective. For me, I'm not anybody that's going to get load managed or I don't fall into the star category. So it doesn't bother me. I don't care one way or the other, truth be told.
So for me to actually give the firm definition of the changes is that so under the new rules, stars who are fit to play will be required to suit up for nationally broadcast games, and for the new in-season tournament, teams will not be able to rest multiple stars in the same game and won't be allowed to rest their stars solely on road games either, where many fans only get one opportunity to watch a visiting star play live. I don't know if you've heard about the Steph Curry thing in New Orleans, Larry, but it's a real thing.
I don't know anything about it.
So Steph Curry hasn't played in New Orleans. Somebody got the year, but it's been like it's almost like 5 or 6 years now, like to where he hasn't played in New Orleans. And last year, I went to two Golden State games. And it was just funny, like from like the Uber driver to like some of the fans. You saw so many Steph Curry jerseys, and people were just like super pissed off. Like, he'll never play here ever again. I don't understand it. Like, his folks wanted to see him play. But I'm trying to think here. What else is here? And like you mentioned,
if I get a say in it, I prefer Steph not play anyway.
Well, I mean, you get to find out early in the season, don't you?
I prefer. I don't know. I haven't looked at our schedule, but I prefer he not play. So I appreciate everybody that wants to see him play, but I'd rather not chase him around screens.
I got you. All right, man. We gonna wrap up with Forlorn and then get out of here. Forlorn, you here?
Yeah, what's up, Papa?
My dog. You know I'm getting sleepy. My dog.
It's
Go
like
ahead,
that.
though.
It's like the fucking time for you. I know it. What's up, Mr. Nance? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. So speaking on something that La brought up, Jackson and Billy, I think back on how the season ended, and I don't know if you would say you was playing on one leg, but I think we all will agree and say that you weren't 100%. And with that in mind, like I'm wondering if as a player and as a coaching staff, if there was kind of this collective agreement that you being like our one of our main guys off the bench, the backup big, the small ball five, which is preferably how they like to play and it has its goods. I wonder if it was a collective agreement that with you not being healthy, but still playing you and you being out there on the court while there's a healthy Jackson Hayes and a healthy Billy Hernan Gomez, like if that was something decided and if it comes from a place of, and again, you might have to be a little political with your answer, but if it comes from a place of you feeling like you at 60% is better than Billy or Jax, if the coaching staff having just that much trust in you, that again at 60% you still provide so much more than what they do, because you got to think at some point, like, because health continues to be like the biggest element in what's for the past 2 seasons we have the options on the bench, from a friend perspective, and not to be like that, it kind of does get to a point where you maybe arrived at why it's great having guys like you and CJ who had these injuries and still played probably most so because there weren't many other options in reality. But it's like having y'all out there in that condition, knowing you're not 100% playing with one arm or playing on one leg, like if that's the best thing for the Pelicans versus how y'all sit. And again, I just want to know like how you arrive at that, that this is one of those things where we the guy and he.
Yeah, of course, and I'll do this question as candidly as possible. So I had my ankle in New York. It was a really bad sprain, and I can only speak on myself because I don't know the discussions that CJ had or anybody else that may have been battling anything. So discussions I had after I twisted my ankle in New York were like, hey, it's going to be realistically, this is probably your season. You're probably done. It was a great. It was a monster of a sprain, swelled up, and it was a monster. But for me, I knew like there's no way it was going to take my whole season back. I was going to get back at some point and find a way to get back on the court. And I probably came back. I probably played a little too early, but for me, it was more important. At that point, the 12 to 15 minutes I was playing weren't gonna affect our game. Like, in this is what I was thinking was me sending the message to the whole team that I'm out here, right? Like, I'm out here, and basketball is more than points, and it's more than points and rebounds and the stats that you can see. It has a lot to do with comfortability and the puzzle pieces that fit together. So for me, being out there and being present with my guys and them knowing that, like, hey, if I get beat, I know for a fact Larry's right there. Or I know just giving them the confidence of something that they had known all year and grown to play with and for. I wanted to come back for those reasons. And the conversations I had with our training staff and with Willie were, were very much this right here. Look, I'm ready. I'll play if you need me. I'm not 100%. I'm not going to be flying around jumping. I'm not going to look like I did pre-ankle sprain because it's still too early. But what I can give you is defensive IQ, offensive IQ. My man's certainly not going to beat us defensively. When I'm healthy, I can cover up. I can cover up two people. I by myself, I can only get one. I can give you communication. I can give you everything mental that I bring. And they deemed that was necessary and important for us. But I did tell them, like, hey, look, I can give you that. If you don't want to play me, that's fine. I just want to be available for you if you do decide to pick me and put me in. So I'm here if you need me. If I'll be warming up, I'll be leading the team as a member of the team, not sitting back on the bench and everything. So put me in, don't put me in. I just want to be available for you. And I was put in the game. And so I gave you everything I had. No, I wasn't healthy. No, I was playing at about 60%, and you could see that. And so it had progressively gotten harder and harder. And so the Minnesota game was kind of where I said, the Minnesota game before the play-in was where I kind of said, like, you know what? I officially feel detrimental to the team. I'm going to pull myself from this next game. And so or not pull myself, but have a real conversation with the coaches and medical staff again. And if you need to sit me, I can be sat. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I just want to win. And the decision was made to sit me, OKC, which I think was right. I think it was the right decision. And granted, it just didn't happen to work out, but it was a mutual decision that we all came to, and I was available for the team because I wanted us to have one of our leaders on the court and in the huddles with us. And it was their decision to play me, and I think I was productive. Not as much as normal, but I did what I could and gave you what I had. And I don't think it's anything against Jackson and Billy that they didn't get put in. It's all what we needed at the time, and the coaching staff deemed we needed more IQ and positional awareness, and so that's what they went with.
Appreciate you.
For sure.
Appreciate you, Lauren. Another one of my favorite follows. Doing a lot of co-hosting with Rocky and the day-to-day spaces once the season, preseason, even in the off-season starts. My dog right there. Shout out to Lauren. Yeah, man, that was it. That was part 3. I appreciate all y'all, man. That pulled up and supported. They asked questions. They had a couple people up here. It was their first time asking questions. And I hope to continue doing more of these, getting the chance to kind of, you know what I'm saying, talk to people that are connected with the team in the locker room, like Larry. I've told Larry this before, but I'm gonna tell him again. I mean, I don't know another player that puts these type of things or is as involved as you are in them and connecting with the people. Not this often and in this kind of format. It's just not something that I really see. And it's definitely not something that happens on Twitter. I mean, you see players, that jump in and have conversations and, maybe do one-offs, but not to where, we got a three-peat of it. So I appreciate you, man, for doing it. And I know a lot of people in the city do, along with, pretty much, everything else that you're doing on and off the floor. So, for me to you, I appreciate it and thank you.
No doubt, man. It's very mutual. Yeah, obviously, if this is if I came in the space the first time and got my head bit off, I wouldn't be back. So it's on you guys as well for putting together a respectful discussion and a Q&A type thing. So like I said, it's fun for me. I appreciate interacting with you guys, and I appreciate the support that we get all year through win and loss. And so this is something we can keep doing, and looking forward to a fun year, and maybe we can do one after training camp or something like that. You heard the man. Look, man, I got something. Me five in the city. We got something that I hope it's going to do what I wanted to in regards to giving back to some kids in the city. I've been kind of working for a little bit. It's not it's been something I've been trying to figure out for a little bit now, and I finally sat down and got some help, people that I that I trust and that are good with with artwork. So I hope it works. I release it tomorrow. I hope y'all support it and rock with it, man. All the proceeds are going to a certain organization. I'll show y'all tomorrow how it's looking. But appreciate everyone that pulled up again. All the questions, Larry, you as well. Until next time.
Can you believe we've had 7 months without an NFL game? Crazy, right? Well, good thing that's over. NFL's here, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is giving you a can't-miss offer. New customers can get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 on any NFL game. DraftKings is hooking everyone up with game day greatness. Download now and use code BOOT to sign up. New customers can take home $200 in bonus bets instantly just for betting $5. That's code BOOT. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. The crown is yours.